Hello everybody, if there's anybody there. My name's Geoff Goodwin. I'm a pastor at Bethesda Church. Sorry. Just as I'm getting on in years, I'm learning to use this technology. I thought I would put some reflections on from over the years of my faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, coming to faith when I was 18. More of that, I'm a bit embarrassed that I'm going to be asking for money in this first blog. It would normally be about the 20th talk that I would do, but circumstances as they are. My friend texted me, emailed me yesterday to tell me about the situation that he's in India. So I felt I've got to post an appeal for some money for him if I can. So I'll be doing that after this talk. As I say, at the age of 70, 54 years a Christian when I was 18, and very, very early on, this reflection regarding money was impressed upon me. You can trust God with your money, and you can trust Him if you're generous. The big principle that I want to share with you is that God is generous. God is an incredibly generous God. And therefore, if you are generous, which He wants you to be, and I like myself, then God will be generous to you because He knows that you'll be generous with somebody else. Why would He want to be generous to somebody who's a miser? Big principle that. Why would He be generous to someone who's a miser? And then the other little concept in this context is He's generous in terms of how much you are generous. So if you are generous with a small bucket, He'll be generous towards you with a small bucket. If you're generous with a big bucket, He'll fill a big bucket up for you and send it your way. That's my experience. I'll share a story that from Live Aid in 1985. If you know that, it was all the big bands got together. Of course, it was the model that's been used ever since. All the big bands got together and did a concert. Started in London after dinner on that day, and then it went to 10 o'clock that night, and then it went to America, and they carried on in America for the next day in America, and raised loads of money for Ethiopia, the famine in Ethiopia. There's a point in it, as I was watching it, in the beginning I said, I'll send him a tenner, and then a bit later on, about tea time, I thought maybe I'll send him 20 quid. And I didn't do it yet. And then the chorus came on and sang a song, as the visual was of a little child having to go on all fours to climb over a stick. And when that came up, I thought I'd sell the house if that was one of my children. Excuse me, it's typical of me getting emotional. Okay, so don't worry about it. It's normal. I'd sell the house if that was one of my children. So I talked it up with the wife. And another Christian principle is be wise with your money, a good steward. So we didn't give everything, but we gave as much as we just kept back as much as we needed to keep the business going. And so in those days that left us, we kept £200 back, and we put £1,000 towards that fund, which was a lot of money in those days. Saying as we did that, well, we won't be going on holiday this year, and we won't be getting a new freezer, and we won't be getting a new washer. But we sent it all in good faith. And about a year later, my accountant rang me to say, "What's this £1,000?" And I said, "Oh, that's the best investment I ever made." Because what happened, the Lord just sent me some really good work, and so we got a washer, we got a fridge freezer, we still went on holiday, and we paid the mortgage off. There was about £2,500-3,000 left on the mortgage, and we paid the mortgage off in that next year before the accounts had to be done. And we found God to be really generous to us all along, as we've tried to be generous as a couple all down the years. So I commend generosity to you as I post the needs of my friend Shadrach. He's in Balasore, Orissa, India, and I've been there and I trust him. and He'll do good with our money. It'll be the best pound you ever spend if you send it. It'll save a life, because my initial thoughts regarding the coronavirus was, it's not touching the children, is it? Well, it's not. It won't be touching the children in India either, but they'll be dying of famine because they've all lost their jobs, and there's no benefits there, no government that's going to back them up. They're all daily labourers. What the wages they get today, they go to the shop and they buy their food for the next day. That's as tight as it is for them. Yeah, you know. So their shops will soon get empty shelves, won't they, with the people that have got the money, and then those that have no money, what are they going to do? So if we send them a bit of money, that'll be helpful. We won't save the world, but we'll save some. People's lives will be saved for this money. So thank you for listening to my first blog. Sorry, it's an appeal for money, as I say. And I hope you'll tune in again when I ought to have more cheerful things to say. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye now. God bless.